Hello everyone, welcome to Med9. My name is Tyler, and today we're going to be talking about this little device right here. Everyone, including me, I think plans most of our trips around the fact that our phones in our pocket are most likely going to come to the rescue when an emergency happens, especially, when we get in a car crash or we're stranded. But recently, I was in a pretty bad accident, which left me with about 2 hours without EMS or any help at all. I was stuck in a car in the middle of nowhere. My phone was on SOS, and boy do I wish I had this thing right here. So just as a disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video or anything like that, but I do want to bring this little device to everybody's attention because it could possibly save your life. So you may be wondering, what is this thing? Well, this is not a GPS and it's not a phone. What it is it is a distress signal. So this thing has one singular button, and this one singular button sends a distress signal to SARSAT, I believe. And there's another one too. It's Russian, but I'm not even going to try and say that. I'll go ahead and put that on the screen. But it's basically the same thing. So your SARSAT is going to be your search and rescue satellite aided tracking, which is I guess the best way to describe it is the frequency is monitored for distress signals, just like this one. So the moment you press this button, the signal doesn't go through cell towers or Wi-Fi or anything like that. It goes straight to a satellite flying around, orbiting the Earth. So when that hits the satellite, then search and rescue basically gets the distress signal, and they pinpoint your location. It doesn't give you a general area. It pinpoints exactly where you are. And I'll tell you what, from a search and rescue perspective, those are some of the hardest calls, are the ones where we have no idea where the person is, or we may know a general vicinity of 1 to 2 miles of where the person may be. So this thing's pretty straightforward in how it works. So basically, you have this little notch on the end here that flips out, and then you get a little aluminum antenna, and you have to put it at 90 degrees, and you press the big red button. That is literally it. It is just you press a red button, and everyone is sent to you. So it's treated as a full emergency, not as a test or an oops. I mean, they will send everybody. So this is definitely not something you want to be pressing when you have a flat tire, or you think you don't know how to get to your destination. Like when every other self-rescue possibility doesn't exist anymore. This is your basically nuclear button, if you will. So, to give a great example, I mentioned earlier in the video that I was involved in a car accident. It was pretty bad. Basically, what ended up happening was I was coming back home from a work trip, ended up hitting a car and rolling. I ended up breaking my femur. I was pinned in for 2 hours. It was really bad. The worst part of it was after all of that, I figured out, well, nobody has any cell service. So the next best thing was for someone to drive as far as they could until they could find someone that could call 911. So that made the response time ridiculously slow. I mean, it took about 2 hours. Now, if I would have had this device, it would have made the response time way more expedited than 2 hours, and I probably would have gotten to a hospital a lot quicker. Those types of unforeseen circumstances could happen any day. So having one of these in your back pocket is amazing. It will save your life if you get into a situation that I was in. This is really a lifesaver device. You could be hiking, could be going on a mission with search and rescue. You may be law enforcement or EMS, and you may end up in a really bad situation like that where there's no cell service. And the fact that this can bounce off of satellites and get your distress signal out there is just insane to me. I didn't even know these things existed. If you do end up purchasing this device, it's not as easy as just buying it and you're set. No, you do have to fill out an official registration form from the NOAA. I'm not super sure what would happen if you didn't, but I'm assuming they may not be able to pinpoint you as well. I'm not super sure, but I do know that this registration form is very, very important. Just a few questions like the serial number, your mailing address, city, phone number, all that type of thing, even emergency contacts. So this part, do not throw it away, because I almost did. It almost went in the trash with the rest of the box. So make sure that form is filled out if you do end up buying one of these things for yourself. It is at no cost. They actually send you a prepaid envelope, so that makes it super easy. You just fill it out and throw it in the mailbox and you're good. You're set. And this thing is registered, and you can take this with you anywhere. I actually got this on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description if you do want to check it out for yourself. It was around, I believe, $300 to $400, depending on what kind of bundle you ended up getting. But this thing lasts you for about 5 years, so you're set for a while. And honestly, a few hundred is worth your life or someone else's if you do ever get into that position, which you never know. It's very possible that anybody can at any point in time. So it's always great to have something like that in your bag, in your car, somewhere super accessible, just in case something like that happens. I hope you guys did find this video helpful, and if you did, go ahead and subscribe because I'm going to be making a lot more of these videos on this channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.